What's up, everybody? I'm Bear with the BearIndependent.com, and we're here on a prosperity site that I got to be careful where we're sitting to not OPSEC, but I wanted to show you. This is the North Texas site that we've been working on for a client of ours, and I just wanted to show you how much it has progressed since last we were here. I've been elsewhere, Northwest Arkansas, with clients in Florida on missions and other OPSEC places. But man, I came down here yesterday. I was on site here for 48 hours to plot the next next order of operations for this site, and it's really come a long way. So I'm going to spin this around and show you guys. So here you see this road coming in, and this is in the back corner of the property. This road was all dirt, and then we used all that white rock, thousands of tons of white rock that we pulled out, and we crushed on site and based this, and then we put an inch, just 1 inch, top dressed it with decomposed granite. And it's an awesome road. We've been rolling heavy trucks all over this. We got our Katahdin sheep out here doing the things, munching grass, being meat, and let's see if they'll talk to us. Mrrr! Nope, not feeling it. Mrrr. Okay, coming through here. Road's looking great. We got a little bit of a burn pile over here. Just a little bit of a burn pile to deal with. So, yeah. Again, the road keeps coming. Road keeps coming. Which it's so good. I'm super happy with it. We literally just pulled white rock out of this pond that we made, and then all the small pieces we layered them on top of dirt after banking the road properly, and then crushed it with a D8 dozer, and then top dressed it with this decomposed granite, and it's tremendous. And look at the pond. That is what 2.5 million gallons of water look like. And this is being fed only by the surface of the pond, and then there's one channel that runs from, it's runoff from, there's a residential neighborhood over here. We're catching that. We created a channel, comes this way, feeds in right here, and the spillway is actually right here, comes down here, and then there's a big tin horn behind us that we just drove over that runs out from there and circles back around and runs into the creek that's back along this line over here, so that she doesn't overflow. But she's almost at capacity. Now every inch of rain equals a foot of water in this right now. So it's doing good, and there are already bullfrogs and bajillion tadpoles have moved in, and life is already starting in this. So the next thing will be, after the turbidity goes down, the particulates settle a little bit into the water, or out of the water. It's actually pretty clear right now as well. We'll start stocking it with fish and looking into oxygenating the water. But it's doing great. I love it. I came in here and I was amazed just how good it looks. Super proud of this thing. And then over here we've got the home site all pushed in. You may remember this was just dirt. And it's not just dirt anymore. In fact, I'm fixing to drive up on it because there's a few problem trees here down in the creek line that have got to come out. And so the bear brought his saw, and we're gonna deal with the problem trees. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna spin this around and talk about water just for a hot minute. All right, guys. I love it. So, basic rule of thumb, right? You gotta have water. Everybody's pretty much familiar with the rule of threes, right? 3 seconds without hope, 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 months without beer if you're bear before your face explodes. So here's the deal. You gotta have water. And so not everybody obviously can afford to dig a 2.5 million gallon stock tank, AKA surface pond. And that's cool. Not everybody has to. part of why this was done here was, and there are multiple ponds here. I believe this is the 6th pond on the property. And this pond, it will help service livestock. There's over 60 head of Katahdin sheep on property. There's about 60 horses on property, and there's talk of bringing in some beef cattle as well. And if you guys are getting a little bit of wind noise, I apologize, but this is Texas. I can't help it. Not in charge of the weather, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be a quadrillionaire, and you know, we'd all be hanging out on my Gulfstream right now. So, sorry about that. But this tank will service livestock. It will also produce food because there will be fish in it, and it will service the food on the hoof as well. It works for fire suppression. There's no hydrants and main water line run back here, and so if something ever happened here where there was a fire that needed to be put out, pumper truck could throw its suction hose in there, and that is the fire suppression plan, and then service the fire at either the home or the garage that's going to be built on the pad that I'm standing at. So that's part of it. And then obviously drinking water, right? And so the practical tactical for you guys is, as far as drinking water goes, I like to store 3 gallons per person per day. Now, a lot of people say that's too much. You should just stick with a gallon. And a gallon is good just for drinking, but I like a gallon for drinking, I like a gallon for sanitation, and a gallon for cooking, because a lot of the food that we stock is dehydrated. It needs to be boiled or soaked or whatever, right? It requires water to make the food. So a gallon for cooking, a gallon for sanitation, and a gallon for drinking. Now, the other thing too is not everybody is going to use their gallon per day, right? But so you're probably going to end up with a little bit of overage, but that's good in case you decide to take a bath. Or hey, today is bath day. Everybody get your sponge, stand in line, hover over the mortar pan filled with hot soapy water, right? And work your way down the line or whatever. So it's good to have a little bit of surplus there, which is why I like 3 gallons per person per day. So if you had a family of 5 in a house, it'd be 15 gallons per day. That sounds like a lot, but again, remember, a little bit of surplus is good. Not only for drinking, but also for cooking, cleaning your body, your tools, your cooking implements, everything else. And I would challenge you to get 15 gallons and spend a day. You know, you might take a weekend, turn the water off at your house and just get 30 gallons and see how much you use. It'd be a great way to actually back into a number as to how much does our family need for water, right? Need, not want, need. How much do we need? So 15 gallons a day times 30 days in a month is 450 gallons. And frankly, that's what I have stocked at my North Texas home. That's what I have. And then in Oklahoma, we got all the waters. We have water everywhere. We have more water than we need. But I like a gallon per person per day each for drinking, cleaning, and cooking to make a total of 3 gallons per day, right? And then it's like, well, what else do you need to go with that? Well, you need a way to clean that water, filter or purify or treat that water, right? You wouldn't want to walk over to this pond and just get a mouthful of it and drink it. You could, and in a dire survival situation, drink the dirty water, because hopefully you, statistically speaking, you're going to be found before, you know, Giardia or Cryptosporidium or whatever gets your guts, okay? So drink the water. If all you have is dirty water, drink it so that you don't die, knowing that you got about 72 hours before things get really sideways for you. Hopefully by then, and statistically by then, you've been found. But in a long-term SHTF, you need a way to do something with this. And so you got your filters, you have your basic filters like a Life Straw or a Sawyer Mini or the Sawyer Squeeze. I prefer Sawyer products to Life Straw. I've talked about that in a different video. You got your ceramic filter elements like the Katydyn and the Varios and the MSRs. Those are all good. I like the Katydyn Hiker. Just personal preference, I like that. That's a good model, and I've just had good luck with it. I dig it, right? And then treatment. You can keep pool shock. You can keep chlorine bleach. Yeah, and bleach has a shelf life of about 6 months. It's also $2 a gallon. So get some bleach, right? You can just Google how much bleach to purify water, and there's a table that will come up. Print that out and laminate it. I have 2 of them printed out and laminated at my house, and they're hidden in different places that if we ever need it, we know how much goes in there. Because I truly don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 8 drops per quart, but seriously, don't take my word for it. Go Google it. See, that's why I have it printed out, because there's too much other stuff rattling around in this noggin. So go Google that. And then, you know, long term, you know, you could always boil water too. You know, like if you live in Flint, Michigan, you've had a boil water protocol for the last 18.5 years, right? And so boiling works as well. So just be thinking about water. How much water do we need, and how are we going to treat it? What are your protocols going to be? And a great way to establish your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, come up with these protocols, is to do it. So go turn your water off. You know, have 30 gallons of water on hand or whatever. Just try the 3 gallons per person per day for however many people you have in your house. Turn your water off and see. Worst case scenario, you can always turn that water key back on so that, you know, you don't dehydrate and die. But it's a good experiment to do. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Be mindful of that, because especially with all the prepper food that we stock, it's all dehydrated, man. Or almost all of it. Canned, dehydrated, you know, or just dry goods. It all takes water, or most of it takes water. So you got to factor that in as well. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you guys. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed and you want to be, please make sure that you are subscribed and click the little bell icon, because, you know, me and YouTube, we got this thing going on right now, and they've just been bouncing people from our channel left and right. So that's what I got, guys. Oh, also, if you're interested in the Nebraska mission, go to bearindependent.com, B-E-A-R independent, I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T, bearindependent.com, and click the missions tab, and there's a sign-up form for the Nebraska mission there. I don't know when we're going yet, but get on the email list, and I'll keep you informed. So, shalom and blessings, y'all. Later.